As you can tell by the title of this video was on a more serious note. I'm not here to joke around a little bit. I kind of made a mistake, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that mistake was. So if you follow my channel to any extent, you have seen me work on my cars, and you see that I religiously tighten things down with a torque bar, or a torque wrench, sorry, when I'm done working on them. So for instance, if you saw me install the coilovers, if you saw me do any work to my truck, anything like that, you always see me torque the wheels down when I'm done. It's just a religion. It's a thing I do. I never put a tire on without torquing it down, which is good, and I really hope that all of you guys do the same thing. And thankfully that wasn't the source of my problem, but it weighs in. So I feel like it's right to do it in here because this is the vehicle it happened to. So this is my mom's car. Now in the same day I installed my winter tires on my car, or summer tires on my car. I installed the summer tires on my mom's car. I did work on my truck and I put the tires on my truck. And I used my torque wrench and I torqued down everything to spec. And my mom was driving and she was like, you know what, my brakes feel a little funny, something's wrong with my brakes. My dad takes it out for a drive and he goes, you know what, something is wrong with your brakes, like we need to get this checked. It feels like they're holding, they're not letting go. And basically they were just like, we don't really know what it is, but can you take a look at it? And I was like, sure, I'll take a look at it, no big deal. Now we go fast forward a couple days, and my whole family's over for my brother's birthday, and my dad drives my grandma home. My dad and my grandma are in the car. And he's like, it's unbearable. Like, this is really bad. I don't know what it is, but there's a huge problem. He's like, when you hit the brakes and you let go of the brakes, the car like lurches and it makes this funny noise and something is not right. So I'm like, that's weird. I know I torqued down all the wheels. I know everything's fine. We should probably take a look at it, right? And he goes, you know what? It's fine. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at it. For today, it's all right. Just enjoy the rest of your night and we'll look at it tomorrow. So we jack up a car to take a look at the wheels and see what's going on, because we figure it's either a problem with the wheels or the brakes. So we jack this car up and we get it up and we're like, all right, let's take the tires off. So we get it up on the jacks and we put a 22 mil on the bolt. And as soon as we put it on the bolt spins with our fingers. And I was like, what the hell? So I start checking them, and they're all spinning with my fingers. And like I said, religiously, I use a torque wrench, so I knew it couldn't have been the torque wrench. So we start thinking, and we're like, how could this have happened? Like, what could we have done wrong in this situation? And I was like, well, when I put my wheels on my car, I did the same thing we always do. And my dad's like, you know what? When you put the wheels on your mom's car, you did the same thing you always did. I don't know what's wrong. And then it clicked. My dad wanted me, because there's rust behind the wheels, and I don't know if you've ever seen a shop or anything do it, but they put like a grease spray between the wheel and where it sits on the hub, and they put like a grease so that it doesn't seize to the wheel. Now we didn't have grease, so my dad was like, hey, why don't you use this rust check, rust inhibitor, whatever it is, this stuff. And he goes, why don't you just use that? It's fine, just to prevent anything from rusting. You know what, like, it's no big deal. It's all good. So we come to realize that because we cheaped out and used the wrong stuff that was not meant for the job, it seeped into the lug nuts and actually let the lug nuts get loose. So even though we torqued it, even though it was all good, over time, it sitting on the lug nuts actually allowed the lug nuts to kind of start to twist their way off, which is extremely dangerous because the wheels, all four, were I could put my hand on the lug nut and spin it when the car was sitting on the ground. And that's extremely dangerous, and you do not want that to happen. So we cleaned it all up, we put brake cleaner on it, we made sure it was all good, we put it back together, and we've had no problems since. So this happened a while ago, but now we've had no problem. We made sure the torque wrench works, I've been using it, everything's always the same. The only thing that's changed is the one time we use that rust check spray. And now the moral of this story is, do not ever use parts or anything that you are not specifically designed for that, because I could have killed not only myself when I drove the car, my mom, my dad, my grandma when she was in the car that one time, like, just horrible things could have happened if the wheels had to have fallen off. Because if one wheel fell off, there was not a lot holding those other wheels on. They could have easily just skirt and left the car when one wheel fell off. So that's an extremely dangerous situation, and I do not ever want anybody else to be in that situation again. So if you're ever doing that and you ever have rust there and you ever decide to clean it and put a grease, only use grease that's meant for it, please, because that was very dangerous and I don't want anybody else going through that. So like I said, everybody ended up being okay, everything worked out to be fine, but I'm just giving you a heads up, just learn it from me. Don't ever use something that is not meant to do the job you're using it for. And I hope you guys really do listen to what I'm saying, and don't ever use something when it's not meant to be used for that job. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.